Hey, book lovers, welcome back to Shelf Addiction, the podcast where we dive deep into the pages of thriller and fantasy reads. I'm your host, Tamara, and today we are covering our June thriller buddy read. If you crave the full visual experience and want to ditch the ads, head on over to Patreon. You'll unlock ad-free video episodes, exclusive after shows, and other bonus content. Want even more bookish banter? Join our community over on the Book Clubs app. And don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review wherever you're listening. Speaking of community, I am thrilled to welcome back my thriller mystery partner in crime, co-host and friend, Classy from the Bookish Virtual Assistant. Welcome back, Classy.
Hey, Tamara, how are you?
I'm doing good. It's a little warm in here. I'm not going to lie. It's a little warm.
Yeah, I mean, this week is supposed to be a hot one. I don't know about, up there where you are.
It'll be hot.
But yeah, we had a scorcher and lots of rain, which just made it even more humid. You too?
Yes, it's humid and it's icky. And the fucked up thing is my air conditioning isn't working right now. So we have like this rolling air conditioning on our second level because it always never gets cool up here anyway.
No, yeah.
So we have another one. So we got that blasting, but I'm like, it's a little warm.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that. Well, to talk about that, I was thinking about getting one of those rolling ones because, yeah, my upstairs doesn't get that cool either. But
yeah,
that's life of two stories, unless you're in Texas where you have. It's something about Texas where they I don't know if it's their air conditioning unit, but they're able to get it cool upstairs. I don't know what the heck they do.
Well, the people who build houses here need to take a page out of their book because
thank you.
Honestly, my basement, I don't know if you have a basement, but I have like a finished basement. It's like a freezer down there.
Yeah.
Then the middle floor is regular, the ground floor, and then the second floor is like warm.
Yeah. And I just think that's too because of the way the air flows, heat rises and all that beautiful stuff. But yeah, there's something about Texas. I don't know if it's her attic. I don't know. But anywho, yeah, it's warm.
Yeah. Fun times.
So yeah, if you guys see us glistening, if you're watching, that's why.
That's why. Okay, we'll get to it. Enough of our heating and cooling woes. Okay, as always with book chats, we talk full spoilers here. So spoiler alert, you've been warned. Today we are discussing the audiobook edition of The Exes written by Leodora Darlington. So expect plenty of thoughts on both the story and the narration performance. Published February 3rd, 2026 by Dutton and Penguin Audio. The audiobook is narrated by Amika Okafor, Avita J., Leodora Darlington, Sebastian Humphreys, and Yasmin Mwanza. The hardcover is 384 pages. The unabridged audio is 10 hours and 59 minutes. Classy, would you kindly share the synopsis?
Yes. Who hasn't wanted to murder an ex? Figuratively, at least. In this explosive debut thriller, a woman's seemingly perfect romantic life is on the verge of collapse as she uncovers a hidden history, surfacing dark secrets that have deadly consequences. Natalie has only ever wanted to find the one, the perfect man, the happy family she never had. But each time she thinks she is finally getting somewhere, she's bitterly disappointed. Another red line through a list of exes. And that was before the night of the big fallout that left her even more alone. Then along came James. Wonderful, handsome James. And Natalie thinks her luck has finally turned. Maybe he's the one for her. Maybe he's the one she's been waiting for all along. Maybe he won't wind up dead. But the harder Natalie tries to be a normal wife, the more world-upending truths are brought to her door, leaving her unsure of who she really is and much less what she'll do, leaving her to question whether there is a monster within her or whether there is a villain toying with her from the outside. What's the secret story behind Natalie's dead exes? Will she and James survive their marriage? Do either of them deserve to?
So just a little fun little tidbit in case you guys didn't know. This was selected as a Good Morning America Book Club pick. That should have been sign number 1. Per Katie Couric Media, quote, "The best book of 2026," end quote. So, hey,
Who said
hey,
that?
Katie Couric Media. So her company said that,
Mm.
not her, her company.
So this is
Um,
Good Morning America, not Jenna.
no, it's not Jenna. It's Good Morning America.
Okay.
So,
You
okay,
sound really excited, don't I?
high level. You know what we do. What did you think when you finished the last word?
That was very it was lackluster. It I was just like I felt like this is another author who doesn't respect the reader or thinks less of us as readers.
Mhm.
Um, I felt like she thought we were stupid. Like, I'm like, "Ma'am,
Mhm.
some of this stuff is very obvious." So I felt like it was a little disrespectful as
Okay.
a but, this she's a debut author, and maybe the disrespect came because we read this stuff all the time.
Yeah.
What you're bringing to the table is not new.
Yeah.
I felt like she used some other plot devices, or this book felt very familiar. Um, it started, the premise was good. I'll start there. Let me go back. I felt like it was a pretty good idea, like, the Exes, but then when I'm reading it or listening to it, I'm like, God, this sounds so familiar. And I still can't put my finger on what book it reminds me of. But
Mhm.
then I was like, this, even even if I won't say it's not original, I felt like her writing didn't bring much to this story as a mystery. I felt
Yeah.
like her writing in her prose was more kind of literary. I felt her prose was beautiful. Like some of her lines, I was like, "Oh, that's a beautiful line." My God, but she didn't back it up with the mystery. She didn't
Mhm.
back it up with this genre.
Mhm.
Um, and as a reader, I was just like, and you took too long to get to the good part. Like 70 something percent in?
Yeah. So, I think when I was done with it, I kinda was like, "What was that exactly?" Like, it's not a thriller in the traditional sense or a mystery, really.
True.
Um,
Very true.
and I kept wondering, like, at least through the first 50%, like, what exactly is the plot? What exactly, are we trying to get at here? And I feel like the author didn't do a good job with her, what is the word? What is the phrase that I'm looking for? Her sleight of hand was not good. It was not strong.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
And I think that probably lent to to the fact, like you were saying, what are we reading?
Mhm.
And I did feel like that. I'm like, is this literary fiction? Is it women? I, I was confused for a little bit.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I was like, at first, I was like, "Ugh, my sister's a serial killer." What? I wasn't sure.
It was feeling at first
You
I
too? Okay.
yeah. I said, "Oh, shit, she's going to sister is a serial killer
I
route?"
know. I did too.
But didn't quite get there. It was kind of
No.
weird. It was like
And
when
she
she
was just like, "I'm
yeah,
gonna pull from here, I'm gonna pull from there.
yeah.
Succotash."
Yeah, and it was very I mean, in my opinion, I didn't even really grasp the good moments of prose you're talking about. I didn't even get that. I was kind of like yeah, I was like, "What is this? Why is it so slow?" That's all I could think about, and how many times I literally fell asleep. It's like a freaking shame, really. I should have counted how many times I fell asleep.
Yeah, I
Um,
really had to push through if this was not I should have split with that. If this was not a buddy read, I'd have DNF'd this.
I would have too. I probably would have gave up around 30%.
Same,
So,
same.
and I kept pushing, and our text kinda got me to push through, I think, a little bit.
Yeah.
But I was really unsatisfied with all of it, and I don't think it was bad per se. It wasn't like the worst thing ever.
No. No, I've read worse. I've
Yeah.
read worse this year, but I think what she was trying to do, her execution failed terribly, and after reading that synopsis, I was just like, she was looking
Mhm.
for the one. Can I go there? She was looking for the one. For one, girl, these relationships she was having, weren't they, like, right out of high school?
Yeah, like
Okay,
college
I can't talk
boyfriend and
now. I got married right out of high school. But, I mean, she
but the thing is this though, I don't even remember the character saying or expressing how much she wanted to find the one. Like, usually
exactly,
yeah. So
exactly that when I read that, I was like, now she went through a lot of fellas.
she did, but it seemed like it was like a meandering kind of relationship, tumble in and out of relationship meandering style.
Exactly, and right, she's a
Yeah,
young girl trying to find she was dating.
yeah.
It was never the fact of the one.
Mhm.
I was totally confused when I was reading that. I was like, "The one?" The only times the
Yeah.
one and it wasn't even that with James. It was just like, "Ooh, I think I really, really like him,
Yeah, she kind
and
of
he's my
like
boss."
yeah, and how she snagged him was weird as well. Like how they got together, that's a weird, meet. I wouldn't even
Yeah,
say it was a meet
definitely
cute, it was
I
a
was like,
a
mm-mm.
meeting.
No. Well, for one, she really didn't even meet him. I mean, he was her boss, and well, okay, I guess the way they shagged, or the first time they got together, she was like, "You know what? Because she knew his calendar.
Mhm.
So, yeah. But they it was. The more we sit here and talk about this, I'm just like, execution. I believe the execution of r her plotting it was just bad.
Yeah.
Something fell through. Something did not click, and then at the end, you just threw shit at the wall and hope it stuck. It was just like, I'm just like, "What the fuck?"
You know what? You almost said the word that I'm thinking in my head, I heard it. The last, like, 10% was chaotic. I'm like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Yeah.
15%, I'm like, "What is going" I'm like, "Wait, what is she trying to say? Is she trying to say this?" I'm like, "No, that's not what she's saying. She's saying something else." Like, it was very chaotic.
I was still confused too, because I'm like, "So, did she kill Mark, or did Claire kill Mark? And did she kill Claire, or did Claire hit her head
She
and
hit
she
her
just
head.
died?"
Yeah.
But I mean, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? But
it
it
was
was just
hard because it
all
seemed like there was some confusion there of what really happened.
and
Yeah.
guess what? And I wasn't about to go on back and figure it out, because and the other thing, I think she was trying to make it feel like Claire was unreliable, a unreliable narrator, but I call bullshit on it, because you did a horrible job trying to make her unreliable.
And she only had a couple chapters too. When I went back and I
Well, not
looked
Claire, but Natalie. You know what I mean? Like,
uh-huh.
I felt like that was the vibe she was trying to give us, that unreliable narrator
Yeah,
vibe.
because she
But
had she was blackout drunk. That's why it made her unreliable.
yeah, yeah. And she wasn't sure, did I not? And every time I woke up, he was dead, or X was dead. And I was just like,
So, this is what's weird to me, and I kind of knew very, very early on that she wasn't the one doing it because, like, with her first ex, Mark, that was the guy who had shown the video. and he died of a MDA or whatever that drug is he wasn't supposed to be taking. I'm like, "You
Was that
woke
the one
up."
with the bad heart?
Yeah, "You woke
Okay.
up at home, right? You woke up at home." No, that was Luca. I got the
Luca.
names wrong. So
Yeah.
you woke up at in your dorm or at home or wherever you were, and then you found out he was dead. But what made you think you did that? Like, how? What made you think like, there was no backup as to why she thinks that she did that. She just assumed, "I wish he was dead, so he's dead. Yeah, I must have done it." I'm like, "Wait a minute.
Right.
That's
There
not."
wasn't like a point of I pushed him and then
Or even, "I woke up in his place and he was dead."
you
Even
know
that.
what? Okay.
What?
No, Imma pin it. Imma pin it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, he took MDMA, that's what it was he took. Um, but Natalie, was like, "Oh, I must have done it," and really, her sister, put drugs in his drink and gave it
Yeah.
to him. Uh, I'm trying to think who else. So Mark was the one that cheated on her at a party, I think, and oh, yeah, and he
And the
was
one who
actually
raped her.
he was trying to do something to her while she was asleep,
Mhm.
and then the sister came in, and then she pushed him off the balcony.
So,
Yes.
who the fuck who
So
has that?
Okay, so who okay, George was the boyfriend she had as an adult who raped her after she had drunk and went to sleep.
That
She
was
woke
it.
up and he was doing that. I would have been like, "You better be lucky I don't murder you right now." But that happened, and that's the one who got stabbed in the kitchen where her sister died was George. So, I don't know. I also okay, so I'm kind of torn on some of the things that the author decided to include in this book. Like all the girls' boyfriends were white. All of them seem to have fetishized black women in some kind of way,
Mhm.
which I don't like. Like, for example, her husband, he lied and said she was the first black woman. That was a lie. He exclusively dated black women that looked or felt like his first girlfriend, right?
Mhm.
Then, Luca, the one with the video, he's all like, "Look how wild she is." Like, black women are just like raunchy in bed off the rip. I did not like that at all.
Babe, babe, you liked it, remember?
And she's like, "Did I?" I'm like, "Bitch, what is wrong with you?" I don't know. I'm like really irate for the character, and she should have
Yeah.
been acting irate, but she
Mm.
wasn't. I was very confused by that.
I think and I think when we listen from her sister's point of view, that she was kind of that timid one who didn't want to make anyone upset or wanted to kind of fit in and blend in because she didn't feel like she was popular. So I kind of got that, but I was very irate too that here, young lady, you know that just growing up in this community, because it's mentioned several times that you're an outlier and that
Mhm.
most of these men are just like, yeah, I want to. I mean, the white women were even saying he just wants to bang you because you're a black girl, and I
Yes.
get it that some white women probably will say some of those things to kind of get you upset, but in the back of your mind, young lady, you gonna tell me that
But
your black mother
yeah.
did not tell you that?
Yeah.
But, young people, I mean, we've done some stupid well, I know you'll say, "Not me." But, I'll
No,
just say
I mean, I think we've all done dumb things in our youth,
yeah.
but you gotta recognize a pattern after a while.
Mhm. Yeah.
And why she was exclusively dating white men, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
not sure
I
either.
wish we woulda got some clarity on that because it's like these white men are all doing her dirty, every last one.
Yeah, and maybe it was a daddy thing because her father was a white man, right? Wasn't he a white man? I wasn't sure, but I thought he was a white man.
I don't know. It was not clear to me that he was.
Okay, so good. I'm glad that you weren't sure either, but I thought he said something about his gray eyes.
Maybe.
But I was confused at the end because Dimple, who her mother was Indian, right? Of
I
Asian
don't know.
Indian descent, I
South
believe.
Asian. South
South
Asian. Okay,
Asian.
so that could be Indian, that could be what, Thai? That could be a lot of things,
Right.
right?
But then she
So
said she had a curl pattern to her head. And I was like,
that means the dad was black, right?
girl, right. So I was really confused, but I thought that she was biracial. I thought
She
Natalie and Claire were
I didn't
biracial.
see, okay, I didn't grasp that. I thought Natalie looked, and I don't think, and correct me if I'm wrong, audience, but I don't recall a full description of Natalie. I don't recall the author saying her skin color. I know, like, her sister wore different color braids with weave in her hair. They were talking about, like, braids with blonde in it, but that not that
Mhm.
it was natural blonde.
Right.
Um,
But I remember, like, the sister had these very big curls, and I thought I remembered that. Also thought it was mentioned that the dad they never really got to know the dad's family, and I thought that was girl,
maybe the dad is mixed, that could be.
maybe. But I was very confused at the end when they said Dimple, because Dimple's hair was straight most of the time, but when the rain hit it, she had
Yep,
a curl pattern. And
correct.
I'm like, so most South Asian people, I won't say all,
Yeah.
because I can't um,
No, not all, but some.
generalize,
Yeah,
but for you to say a curl pattern, most of the time that means there is some kind of African descent,
somewhere.
black, yeah, in somebody's line. So, yeah.
But I
See
think
how
that the
confusing a
father
lot.
is black. I do, because they're half siblings. They have different moms.
Mhm.
The moms were best friends.
Yeah, I can't remember why I came across that I thought her dad was a white man.
I didn't
You didn't get that at all?
I did not feel that. I thought
Okay.
he was black.
Okay.
But I could have missed something. I could have missed one of
Yeah,
a
because
throwaway.
you did go to sleep a few times.
I did, but, I called myself book this is what it got so bad, I would bookmark right when I started feeling a little bit
Yep.
those, and then
Girl,
I could
that's
knew if I fell asleep, I knew where to go back
gone
to.
back.
So, I don't think I
Girl,
missed anything,
somebody help me.
but,
Please, please. Dear reader,
yeah.
dear listener, what do you what color or what race do you think her dad was?
Yeah, Natalie and her sister's father. Please tell us.
Okay, but
I mean,
anyway,
we just assumed the mother was black, right? We just assumed that. I don't know there was anything literally on the page that indicated she was
yeah,
black.
definitely her mother was black. Her
Okay.
mother was of African descent. I mean, the accent alone.
Yeah,
Um,
that's true. The
yeah,
book,
her
her
accent,
accent was
her
a little
mother was
different.
definitely, and her mannerisms was definitely a African mother.
Yeah.
Um, but, yeah, okay. So, but the thing I wanted to pin when, remember when we were saying there was no really like indication that she did something prior to the death of her exes. She kept getting like that little headache or that little tinge in her head or something.
Mhm.
You don't remember that?
I just remember her having, like, blackouts because she would be
But
drunk
she would
or
say
high.
she would get, like she would get angry,
Mhm,
like, all of a sudden just before, and she'd get that
mhm,
and remember I was saying there was something reminding me of another story, the story we just read, Dead in the Water, where
mhm,
just before they'd have this fit to want to kill, they'd
mhm.
have these twinges of headache.
Mm.
But yeah, she would have those little moments where she just had those fits, but I also feel like she was trying to use that, um, as a way of foreshadowing that, this is what happens. I get Hulk mad, Hulk angry, like just before I
So,
kill. Yeah. Um,
okay. I don't know.
but it
I
was,
I
those are my like the only
yeah.
moments that you would be like, that she was just so angry to the point where it's like, okay, whenever you would hear she was getting upset or
Mhm.
that moment, she get a little headache and then fade to black. She wake up and a ex is dead. But it was poorly executed
It
again.
was. It was, because 'cause I'm like, I didn't think it was her ever. I never thought it
No,
was.
no,
So,
no, no. It was not believable from the beginning.
the author didn't, yeah, the execution, like we're saying. The whatever we needed to believe that Natalie was the one killing her exes was not, the proof was not strong enough. The backbone was not strong enough.
Mm. She for one, like, where was her mean streak? She started off like, the book started off that she was possibly mean because remember her husband was, like, cowering in the corner crying. I was like, "What the fuck is going on here?" And I was like, "Did she bully him to the point?" It's like right, right, remember? And I was like, "Oh, shit."
Yeah, yeah.
She got him backed into a corner. He's like, that's
No,
what I thought.
he
And
just
that was
went
the
off and
only
fucking
time
cried. And later later when we get to see where she's in the bedroom and he goes off and he's crying, I'm like, "That little bitch, he just trying to get you to come out the bedroom, so you check on him."
it's like that was the only moment that I felt like
Yeah.
she possibly could kill somebody. Because I was like, now if you got somebody crying in the corner, I was like, "Oh, okay." And then after that, I was like,
Mm-mm.
never again did she ever feel like she was some twisty killer who had this fake facade of I'm such a nice girl, but behind closed doors, I never got that from her.
So,
Never.
speaking of, like, inconsistencies in character, I felt like James was very inconsistent at one point. His character, when Natalie went to her friend's house that she hadn't seen in years, and
Emily.
James came there,
Mhm.
when James came there, and the way he kinda, like, pulled her out that house made it seem like he was very aggressive and, like, he ran that relationship, and
I
I'm like, "That
know.
is very different," and the way she was cowering and her friend was like, "Are you gonna be okay?" Like,
I
she gets I'm
know.
like, "Wait a minute, I'm like, "What's happening right here?" Like, this is so out of character for both of them. That whole scene didn't even fit their
Match.
personalities that we were presented with for this whole book.
Yeah, I felt the same way. I was like, "Is she, like, really showing us who he really is?" Because
Look, I have
he was
flashbacks
always
of behind closed doors.
yeah, I felt the same way, and I was like, he has never if
No.
anything, he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, babe. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have said that. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, blah, 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 blah." But
Yeah.
when he was beating his brothers now see, I think the only other thing was when he snatched her up like that, I was like, "Well, he did beat his brother to a bloody"
I know, but for him to show that in front of other people as well, that's
Yeah.
very sloppy. That doesn't seem like something he would do.
Yeah, he was
He
more
hasn't done
calculated.
it this whole time. The
No.
whole book, he hasn't done it.
No. No. And to stature it to the point where he was leaving bruises or whatever, I think she might have said he grabbed her pretty hard and said, she's you don't know, she's getting help or something." I was like,
Yeah, like, what is that? That did not fit the story.
no, no, not at all.
That whole section, I'm like, "What's happening?"
But again, we're getting too close to the end too, remember? Again, right around that part, it started getting chaotic.
Yeah.
It was just like bam, blam, throw. Because I'm like, so why did you go to here's my thought. Why did you go to Emily's house again?
I
Because
guess
you had therapy and okay, why again?
she felt like she didn't have anybody to talk to, I guess. She had nobody.
Okay, so why did you go to Emily's house again?
He said, "And why?" That made no sense. It doesn't. It doesn't make sense. I don't know.
Because I mean, it was like a
Yeah.
because even if James didn't show up,
Mhm. Yeah.
I was confused.
I
And I
was
mean,
too. And I'm like,
yeah,
"Wait, so James had access to follow your ass around the whole time, and he didn't know you went to his brother's house?
Thank you for mentioning that. Let me mark that off my list.
He's tracking you, and you went straight up in his brother's house, and
Plot
he didn't
hole.
know? What the
Right. And all of a sudden now he finds you and you're like,
Right.
"Oh my god, he knows where but you didn't mention, "Oh shit, he knows I was at Will's house," because
Yeah.
he just before you left, he said, "We need to start sharing our locations."
Mhm.
Again, editing. Like,
Mhm.
where is these editors?
Yeah.
Sloppy, sloppy,
That is
sloppy.
sloppy.
Yeah, I definitely I was like, "So you're gonna tell me one of the climax turning points of the story, because now at that point when she meets up with Will and he catches her, we find out that James has been lying this whole damn time.
Yeah.
And he doesn't address you, or you don't realize, like, nothing is said about this, that but all of a sudden James knows where you're at when you go to Emily's house, who Emily is like, not even a key figure in this story, except for
No,
she knew
actually
that your sister
had
possibly
mhm.
killed, 'cause she didn't witness.
No, because when I try to think back to the then segments, Emily wasn't even, like, the friend that she was with all the time, it was someone else, right?
But Emily was no,
She was around.
Emily was supposed to be the protective friend who was kind of felt like she was almost competing with Claire.
Yeah.
Because remember Claire said Emily is the one who almost wants, people to feel like she's more of a sister to Natalie than I am.
So, okay, so to go back to that part about with Claire, and she mentions that when she goes to that house party and she gets the guy to drink the MDMA-laced alcohol. So, Emily supposedly had took her sister home, put her in the bed, and Emily came back to the party for what? Why did she come back to the party?
Again, why did she go visit Emily? I'm just kidding. This is how I felt. Like
Yeah.
the dude, yeah. I was just like, I don't know why. I have no idea. Because if my job here is done,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
I took
I
my
got my
friend home
friend home and told her that I took care of her. That was the point, right? Why would she come back there?
unless it was a banger of a party, but we don't know because it was not mentioned.
And that
Why? What was
also
your purpose for
but
coming back to the party?
here's the thing, this is another plot hole. If Natalie wakes up and says, "Oh shit, you know, Luca's dead," or yeah, he took the MDMA. He's dead. And then Emily's like, "Yeah, I brought you home last night." Why would you think you killed him? That does not make sense. Your friend took you home. You didn't even just wander home on your own. You got escorted home
Yeah, and the other thing was is that
and she saw
Claire
him
was a
alive.
teenager, and Claire was a fucking teenager. Why didn't you take both of their asses home? Why are you? Because I can't remember what the age difference was, but I remember she was saying that she was a teenager
Well,
at
Claire's
this
older than
party.
her, but we don't know by how much. She could be a
No.
year older, 2 years
Yeah,
older.
she did mention, but it was mentioned in the story that here she is, this young teenager and
Mhm,
still in high school,
mhm.
basically, I believe she mentioned. So you're gonna tell me, but again, everybody's different. You take the sister home. You take your friend home, but you don't take the sister who's younger and you know what kind of party this is? And it
No,
now if you
Claire's
said you
older than Natalie.
no,
Yes, because then Natalie, remember when she gets
no,
with
Natalie always says, I'm the
mm-mm,
older sister, right? Oh god,
because
girl.
not until the end when she meets the half sister, when she realizes Dimple, what a crazy ass name, but Dimple is her sister. She says, "Wow, I'm the older sister." She said, I'm the older sister now."
Uh,
So Natalie took care of her little sister Dimple now. And before
Then who the
Um,
heck was in high school at a party then?
Natalie,
The f
she was at a party as a high schooler, and I think she could have been a senior. You can be a 17 or 18-year-old senior and
Yeah,
then and have a 19-year-old sister that's older than you.
true, but I was
Or
thinking that they were at a college party,
they might have been.
and I totally had it totally flipped around.
Yeah.
Again, okay.
Yeah, so no, her sister Claire is the older sister.
But, okay, so then
Wait, or maybe I have it wrong. Maybe it's backwards.
I think so because I remember when, the mom
That's right,
killed
because
the
she was
dad, and
older.
yeah, and when the mom when dad was found at the bottom of the stairs, and she said, "I need to take care of Natalie," because she was like,
That's
go,"
right.
and
She
she's
was
like,
like,
I have to take care of
okay,
my
so
little
she
sister."
was not much younger than her,
No.
but you're right. Natalie was the oldest. You're right. But not by much because I remember during that scene, like she couldn't get them baths and stuff, so she
Mhm.
wasn't that much older, maybe a year,
Yeah.
18 months maybe. They were both
Right.
young.
Yeah. But I do remember her saying that,
Yeah.
I think somebody was like, "Why are you here? You're a high schooler. Why are you" Oh, I think they were trying to offer her a drink or something
Wow.
at the party, but she was, they were like, "But you're at high school." And she's like, "I'll take some."
So,
And I
how did she get hooked up with Luca? We never heard that.
girl,
If he's a let's just assume Luca's a freshman in college. Let's just say he's a freshman.
mhm,
How did you get hooked up with him?
I don't know. I was confused with that scene too.
And then how in the fuck do you have a minor doing a sex tape with a college age student?
Well,
She didn't
no,
know he was
because it was
recording.
Natalie. It was Natalie that did the sex tape, and she's older.
But she's not in college though, is she?
Yeah, she was in college then. Claire wasn't in college because remember she said that she would go and visit her?
Yeah.
I think Claire came to visit.
Oh,
Natalie was in college.
that is very irresponsible. Like, why would you let your little sister just roam around free on a college campus
Yeah, because
while
remember they
you're
were in,
getting
like, a coffee
shit-faced?
shop or something, and that's when her friends' text messages were coming
Yeah,
in, and that's
yeah.
when yeah. So yeah, it was
She
Natalie,
was
but
visiting her sister and all that went down.
yeah, and that yeah.
See, and you know what? And this just is a testament to how the story was not well executed because I am the last one to get confused on plot points. I usually am spot on, but I totally got confused there.
Yeah, but
I'm
yeah, I
like,
do
"What?"
remember her saying, I am the big sister. I gotta take care of my little sister. I gotta
Yeah.
take care of my little sister." But then there were moments where when we would hear Claire, when Claire's point of view came, and she was like, "My sister never basically took up for herself." And people would do, little mean things to her, and that's when I put the tanning stuff in that one girl's tanning lotion, and she was streaked orange or something. But it was that nobody suspects the little
Mm.
younger sister.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, again, the execution, because it was just it became chaotic. Like, and I think it also became chaotic. Well, and we'll talk about that later. But in in the audio, like some of the voices weren't that distinctive.
Mhm.
Um, and I also felt like as a reader, especially of this genre, after reading this book,
Mhm.
now I see why some authors do not label chapters
Mm.
because it's almost a little foreshadowing.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there were so like I knew something was up with Dimple, because why would you label a chapter Dimple? But we
Yes.
never really got her point of view for so many chapters. It was always told, it was called Dimple, but it was always told from Natalie's point of view.
Yes.
So I'm
Mhm.
like, something ain't right. Let me pin
Yes.
that, you know?
Actually, so Actually, this is a great segue to what we're going to talk about in the second half. I'm going to
Sure.
pause you right there. It's a great time to take a break. While we are away, you guys listen to these commercials. By doing that, you are supporting the podcast. Click around in the show notes, follow us, do all the things. And when we return, we will pick up this conversation. We will dive into the audiobook version and our thoughts on that, and we will rate the book. So stay with us. Welcome back, everyone. Now, what was the last thing you said? I forgot that fast.
The chapters, because she did a lot of then and now, and then a few chapters were named, I think, Dimple, Claire, James.
Mm-hmm.
But Dimple had a lot of chapters named after her, but she wasn't speaking.
Mm-hmm.
It was Claire speaking about Dimple or her sessions with Dimple. And I'm like, so Dimple is a very key figure in this story, but she's not showing up as a key figure in this story yet. You know what I mean? Like, for her to have that many chapters, and I can't remember how many because I've returned the book, but she had at least.
Okay, I'm going to look right now. She had
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Okay, that's enough right there.
7, 8, 9,
Wow.
10. She had 10 and then one that didn't list her name because I noticed in chapter, I think it was 51, Dimple is in there. I think that is when she goes to her house and they're having all this interaction. I'm like, oh, Dimple's in this chapter and it's not tagged for her.
Yeah,
So it's
that's
like
when
51.
so-called James said she said James had called her and she was coming over there to see if she was okay. Yes.
Yeah.
That
So, your opinions on like the headers? Because at first, you know how I was talking about where are all these damn narrators?
mm-hmm.
So I kind of took a scroll through the thing trying to figure out where these narrators were. So what
Yeah.
were there 5 narrators? I mean, they
Yes,
had
I
the
believe so.
author. I don't know where
Yeah.
the author was unless they're talking
Right.
about her after.
Her author letter, that's the
Yeah.
only thing I could think of because when you listen to her voice during that part, she is not listed at all. I mean,
So,
her voice doesn't match at all.
right. So maybe she's just doing her own author letter.
Yeah, the author letter because her voice is very distinct. It's good. Yeah. And it doesn't match any of the other narrators. But yeah, now I
So
really see
let's
why authors don't label some of their chapters by.
But see, I think in this case, it was kind of important because we were flipping perspective so much. We were
Mm,
going then and now constantly. And
okay.
without her storytelling wasn't strong enough to support without it. Now, if that
Okay, I
was
can
the
see that.
editor's choice, I think that was the right choice in this case because we just got finished talking about how,
Yeah.
um, so I think we needed it because, okay, so if I were to just let's just start the audiobook discussion. We're going to break down the audiobook.
Okay.
So there are we're going to say 4 narrators. We're going to disregard the author because I think that was for her author's letter at the end.
Right.
So if we take her out, there's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 women and 1 man. So obviously the man had the 2 chapters that were led by James.
Sebastian. Yeah, James.
So I think he just had 2 chapters. Yeah. In the then James had 3. No, he had 3.
Okay.
So that's him. But so I guess 1 was Claire in
Mm-hmm.
the then state. And when I looked back after the fact, I was like, Claire only had 2 chapters. Only 1, 2, 3. She only had 3.
And that was key too.
Yeah. And then I noticed pretty quickly, I'm like, we haven't heard from Claire since as we went forward. I said, that was my indicator. I'm like, that girl is gone. She making this shit up because we never heard from her again.
Nope. And her only communication was text.
Text, yes.
And there was never a response.
Yes. And she's always like, my sister don't want to be involved in my relationships. I said, girl, she go. Okay. So we had a narrator for Claire, a narrator for
Natalie.
a narrator for James, And I thought maybe we'd get one for Dimple, but it's not from her POV. So were there just
I
segments
there
when
was
Dimple
a
was talking?
I think there was Dimple, but it
It
wasn't distinctive.
No, it wasn't because if okay, so from
Because
the
remember she
now
talks about how Dimple did have, a POV because remember she talks about hanging out with Auntie
Yes.
Mel,
Yes, but those
which is
chapters weren't labeled any differently than the other ones. They
mm,
all read, but not all of them were from her POV. Because I noticed that when I was like, "Oh, the voice is slightly different,"
yeah, it was slight.
but they all say, "Now, Dimple, now, now, now," and I went back and I looked, I was like, "Was there a then for Dimple?" And there wasn't. So I'm like, that I think that also is an inconsistency because if we're gonna change the POV of the narrator of the chapter, and she
Yeah.
was talking about the past, so maybe it should have been then
Then
Dimple, and
Dimple.
then that would have given us a trigger. So I think honestly, I think the narrator for Dimple only was in like one chapter
Yeah.
because all the
Yeah.
other Dimple situations were from Natalie's
At least
POV,
POV. Yep.
which is
Exactly.
weird.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the only time we knew we got Dimple's backstory of who she was.
Yeah.
Well, from her POV.
Mhm.
But yeah. Yeah.
So okay, so let's talk about the vocal performances. We're talking about the difference in the voices and all of that. So do you think the narrators did a good job? I said okay, so I think whoever was the narrator for the mother, I guess they did good because it was different, right?
Oh, yeah, very distinct.
When she had her quoted talking,
Wait,
sections.
hold on then. Then if the mother's voice was distinct, ooh,
You think someone was doing, but she didn't have a POV. She only literally had quoted
just
text.
yeah,
So
so
when
maybe
she
this that was Natalie's narrator. So she did
I don't
great
know.
with that. I know, girl. So I would say she did a great job with that one. It
Mhm.
had to be Natalie's POV, right? Because when the mom showed up,
It
my
was always
baby,
from Natalie's POV. Like, her
my
mother never
baby.
had a POV, but she only had, like I said, quoted text. So
Mhm.
when she was talking to her.
Yeah, so that had to be Natalie's narrator, and she did a great job on that. And I mean, I would say she did great even with Natalie's, but at one point, I was just like, Where's the other narrators? Because they all sounded the same to me.
Yeah.
Only person I knew the difference was James.
Yeah. And like you said, like, Dimple having that, I think it was only one. I can't think of another segment that was from Dimple's point of view.
Yeah, I can't either.
Because it was always Natalie as her patient, not her.
Mhm. Exactly, and we
um
only right. It was
s-
always how she looked, how she reacted. Yeah, there was no dialogue
mm,
or
so
no.
I think I could tell a slight difference when I got to Dimple's part only because I was looking for it. I was looking for it. If
Mhm.
I wasn't like actively trying to hear a difference, they blended very well. You couldn't really tell.
No, I thought it was
So,
one narrator. I
yeah,
mean, I asked you, you were like, "So where does these other narrators come from?" I'm like, "Er?"
you like other narrators.
Even though at the
Yeah.
beginning of the book, they mentioned how many narrate, but you know, after you get into a book, you really kind of forget unless it's very distinct, and this
Mm,
was not.
mhm.
'Cause I was like, "Is it duet? No, it's not duet."
Mm-mm.
Okay.
It's not
So,
duet. It's not what I would even consider full cast.
no,
Um,
no.
I think there were too many narrators. Honestly, at this point, did we even need a guy for James at this point? The author could have just did them all. I mean, the narrator, one narrator could just done them all and it would have made a difference.
Yeah,
Um, so I
because that's
think,
what we thought anyway.
yeah, so I think having all those narrators did not improve the vocal performance overall. It did not add to the range of the characters.
Well, I will say, James, being able to hear James, I will okay, I'll backtrack on that one. I do think having James, um, as a male narrator did bring a little something to the story because I will say hearing him talk about how he was treated as a child, by his mom and that relationship with the girl that he pushed, the girlfriend who drowned. I felt like it gave a little eeriness to that underlying violent nature of him. So I will say his vocal performance, or I won't even say performance, but having him do that voice did add something for me because I felt like I could just kind of feel how insecure he was as a young boy.
Mhm.
I think that added something to the story for me.
I think I hear your point there, but I would have almost rather have heard him throughout.
Mm,
So, I would have almost rather it been duet style.
okay.
So, anytime there was quoted text for him, maybe just
Mhm.
have him talk. That may have elevated it a little bit,
Mhm.
but to me, like, he only had 2 small chapters to explain his parts, just 2.
Yeah.
And
They
so,
spent big money on this production.
yeah. So, let's see,
Yeah.
then James, yeah,
There
well,
was
maybe
no
3.
now
He had
James, right?
3.
It was only then, right?
Right, when he is back in the past.
Mhm.
He's
Yeah.
never current, and it was just at the end there in the last 15%,
Yeah. That part.
20%.
Yeah.
So, actually, like I said, having a male voice chop up the monotony of the other voice
Yeah. That
might
would
have
have
helped.
true. Yeah, because it was heavy on the female voices. And
Mhm,
even that, like, even when it came to Will, like, when she yeah, like you said, just having a male voice, even if that same voice did Will's dialogue, it
mhm,
probably would have, brought it up a level.
mhm. I don't know. So the pacing, I think how what did you listen at? What was your listening speed?
I think it was, like, 1.65, and I probably could have bumped it up even more, but I was just like, "Ugh, I'll get over it." It wasn't like I was in a rush to finish it. I too probably I didn't go to sleep, but I was pretty damn bored. It was like one of those like, "Oh yeah, you gotta finish this book, Classy, for podcasts."
Mhm.
It was one of those, so
Well, I listened, I'm looking at it now. I was at 1.8 for the entire book.
damn.
I wanted to go a little faster, honestly, but I couldn't because the accent.
Sense. Mhm.
I'm like, I needed to, and honestly, I remember when I started, I was at 1.5 when I started, and I kept just inching it up and up as I got accustomed to the
That's it.
narrator. So I think, but by the time I hit around 30%, I was at 1.8.
Okay.
And that just stayed there because I just couldn't go any faster with the
Yes, that
accents.
accent was heavy, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I think, honestly, sometimes audiobook narration adds to the story. I'm not sure it did that here, to be really honest. It did not help the pacing, in my opinion. It didn't help it.
No.
Um,
Nope, it did not.
yeah, so that's unfortunate.
No. The
Um,
experience either.
yeah,
Like I said, I mean, listening to James and just hearing, like, I felt like I was like, "This dude is creepy." Like, nobody recognized he was creepy?
he's
That's
good
that
at
kind.
hiding.
Yeah, right, and most, narcissists or whatever you want, a sociopath, whatever they want to label him are. But yeah, he that his voice did lend that kind of experience to me.
Mhm.
Um, because I mean, we knew he was like when he bit her lip, and she was like, "Ooh, I think he drew a little blood,
He
right?"
did.
And I was like, "Oh,
That's weird.
something wrong." Mm-hmm.
If somebody did that, I would instantly be taken aback. Like, what's happening?
He'd have got punched. Like, what the fuck? I don't even know you like that.
Like, we don't I don't roll like that. What are you doing?
Boss. Bad enough we over here, but then you bite me? But yeah, so but no, the production, yeah.
Trying to think. I don't think anything really stood out as horrible. I think the production was fine. I don't recall anything being off per se. I just think they could have worked a little harder to m show a difference between the characters.
And that comes with casting. So, like,
Mhm,
when you cast these voices and they all sound the same,
mhm.
that is the casting or the production team that, because it's not engineering, it's you guys chose these narrators. And granted, I know, the sisters, but still, my sister and I, we may have sound a little similar, but you definitely know the difference between me and my sister.
So, look, I think there was more of a chance to and I could hear a slight difference with Dimple, like I said, because I was actively listening for it, but it could have been more drastic. They didn't grow up together. They didn't have the same vernacular grow you know how when you are with your siblings, you guys kinda have the same wording, you use the
And
same
a little cadence, yeah.
right. They didn't have that. So there was an opportunity to make Dimple sound very different
Right.
from Natalie if they
Yeah.
wanted to.
Right, and I mean, they were of 2 different cultures,
Yeah.
2
So,
totally different cultures.
yeah, even though they're both English, right? So but their culture is
Yes.
different.
Mhm. Like I said, I think
So
she was South Asian. She didn't grow up with her father, so you know what I mean? Like, any kind of little
mhm.
distinction. But yeah, I felt like they definitely should have been a little more distinct or,
So, okay, I just
selective.
said this, but now I forgot. So who was the 3rd female used for? So if we say
I'm not
Natalie,
sure.
we have
Claire?
well, yeah, Claire's sections, I
Claire.
guess.
Mhm.
The 2 she had back the 3 or something she had back
Right.
then.
Yeah,
But
so it
she
was
didn't
Claire.
sound very different either. They all
No.
melded, which was the problem.
Yep. She did not sound that much different than Natalie.
No.
Mhm. And like you said, the only way we knew it was Dimple is because we were listening and we heard, you know, staying at Auntie Mel there was just certain things about her chapter that stood out.
Mhm.
So but yeah.
Yeah, so from the audiobook standpoint, I think if I had to give a verdict and a separate rating from the book, I would I mean, it was average. I think I would give it a 3 for the audio only. What about you?
Mhm.
Do you have a rating for the audio only
Yeah,
out
I
of
would give it
5?
a 3. Yeah,
Mhm,
a 3. It wasn't horrible because, like you said, when we put it in totality,
mhm,
a 3. There was no engineering, I didn't hear any clicking or heavy breathing or lips,
mhm,
which I've heard before.
mhm,
Didn't hear any of that, but
mm.
she having distinct voices for each character would have been
Yeah,
great.
it would've, 'cause there was definitely room for improvement with the audio as well as the book itself. Uh, okay, so do we have any closing comments on the book before we rate the book?
Let's see, minutes. I do.
Okay.
So in her author's letter,
Mhm,
I thought was very interesting because she mentioned 3 women who she said she thought of many times as she wrote this book. And the women's names were Asia Maynard, Lauren Smith Fields, and Brenda Rawls. And each of these women died after dating a white man who they had just met online. But come to find out, they said Brenda Lee Rawls, because I went and looked it up,
mhm,
that she died of natural causes. But Asia Maynard, 29, mother of 4, 2022, dead after a date with a white man. Originally, it was natural causes, but come to find out, it was an overdose of fentanyl and ethanol. She
mm,
met him on some dating app.
mhm,
Lauren Smith Fields, 23, accidental overdose of fentanyl,
Mm,
alcohol,
mm.
prescription drugs, met a man on Bumble, white man.
Did they give them the drugs?
That's what they're thinking. And it
So
just made me think of this young lady who just died, this year, that influencer, Ashley Janae, who is, engaged to the hedge fund guy, where they
mhm.
just ruled her death a suicide, but that was very mysterious. You guys go over to what, Zanzibar, get into an
Oh,
argument, and she
yes.
winds up dead?
Yeah. That was wild. Like, he
Yeah,
did something.
mhm. But they
Let's not
ruled it a
play games.
suicide.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, it's very suspicious, but I
Mhm.
think, that also kinda ties back to the author not being as assertive with her writing as she should have been. Because 'Cause I'm like, what is the message we're supposed to get from this? Don't date the white
Exactly.
men? Is that the message?
Yes, because 'cause I'm
Because
like,
that
"You
it
thought
wasn't
about
clear
this,"
that was the message.
and that's exactly, and that I mean, because when I was done with her, you can't, because I got it blurred, but when I listened to that, and I was like, "Let me look up these women," because 'cause I'm like, I know I mean, I had an inkling just from the context of her story that these women possibly, because she mentions you heard it, she mentions abuse
Mhm.
and dating and blah, 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 and how we overlook things, and I was like, "But something else is here," and when I looked that up, and I was like, "So why the fuck she just didn't say that?"
Look, so she had those other things that I mentioned at the top of the episode. She had this fetishization of the black women from the white men that happened
Mhm.
more than once,
Yeah.
stereotypes about black women that white men and other people assume.
Mhm.
So they
Look
were
at her
there.
grunt, because you're right, because
Yeah.
the
Yep.
guy's friends are, like, grunting, and I was like, so I wonder if that was, like, did her editors think, "Oh god, the white people, it'd be too much if we put that in there, you might not get the readers."
I mean, and then James with his like serial black woman dating. Very strange.
Mhm.
So it was like
And
all
to say
kind.
that you're my first.
Yeah, just why would you why?
Yeah. So when I got to the end, I was like, "Woman, you missed the damn mark."
It's like you wanted to say something, but you were shy about doing it, so you kinda, like, mosey on around, you meandered a little bit.
But I'm wondering, because this is her debut, did
Mhm.
did the editors, did somebody say, that might be a little too controversial?"
I mean, you don't have to literally say, "Don't date white men." You don't have to say it like that, but
I
I
know.
think there was opportunities
Opportunity.
missed
Oh god, it was so many
to
opportunities.
yeah, to, like, bring home the, like, OMG, what the it was just
Mhm.
instead, we
Yeah.
were left trying to figure out, "W what is
What is she
this?"
doing? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
So,
Is this like a
yeah.
warning tale or telltale, like, I have no idea.
So, adding that extra information that you provided did add some more relevance to the story, I guess. No, with the things I had noticed, but it
Yeah.
does not change my rating.
Well, hell no. It she better be glad I didn't drop something.
Yeah.
I won't say she better be glad, because she don't give 2 fucks about my rating.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I was just like, "Ma'am, here this happens all the time, and you wanna say that you were thinking about these ladies, and n I didn't get that in this
Mhm.
story. I didn't get your thoughts.
Right.
It was not conveyed. It did not come across
No.
at
And then we didn't
all."
even get, like, revenge on James, like,
No!
so the
His ass got
sister
the easy way
so
out.
look, this is what's funny
Okay,
to
I
me.
won't say
So
way, but gee.
so what's funny to me, and I understand the author did not wanna make Natalie a killer because she hadn't been a killer this whole time. But wouldn't that have been irony if her other sister killed on her
Dimple.
behalf?
Mm.
Yeah, and the author set it up by pointing out the fact that Dimple is light-footed and no one could hear her. From that point on, I was like, "Oh, Dimple's about to take care of James."
I thought the same thing.
And all she did was knock him over the head with a lamp. I'm like, "Get the hell out of here. You could have stabbed him with something in his back. It'd have been great." And they had a story. But instead, they just he got in trouble, he got his hand slapped, and then he just couldn't deal, and then he decided to commit, the deed,
Yeah.
which was I think it was the
A
easier
cop out.
way out. Yeah, cop out, yeah. Like,
I did too.
for
Yeah.
for a book that's so violent and you're trying to make this statement, why not just kill him? Why not?
It's especially after I read your author's letter, like, here you got 3 Black women who die of mysterious circumstances, no justice
Mhm.
because they're natural causes. What better way?
Yeah,
It's a
just take him
fucking
out.
book. It's
It's a book,
right.
it's
It's a
fiction,
book.
take him out.
It's fiction.
So again, like,
I
kinda
was hot
timid
when
with it.
I was hot after I went and I was just like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Yeah, timid.
You got a
Hmm.
pen and a big ass audience.
Yeah, interesting. I do kinda wonder now what drew Good Morning America to this book.
Yeah, I know.
Was it a hefty payment from the publisher or
Mhm.
something else?
Yeah, I'm curious
I'm very
because I'm
curious.
just like, "Huh?" And it was like one of the book of the month choices too.
What was?
Yeah.
I
I
wonder,
had
do
heard
they
read
pay
that too.
for slots? Do you know?
Hmm?
Do you know if they pay for those slots, the
I don't
publishers?
know. That's very curious. That's a interesting
Hmm.
little thing to look into. I'm not sure.
I mean, it was her first book, it's her debut novel.
Mhm.
So, and you're right, maybe her publisher or her editor, washed it a little bit, so it was a little bit softer in the
Yeah,
messaging. Maybe that happened,
maybe.
but I would have appreciated some boldness if this is the message we're talking about.
Mhm. Yeah, especially if you're gonna mention these 3 women.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
I'm gonna get off this soapbox.
let's rate the story, let's rate the book.
Okay, I gave it 3.
Same. I gave it 3. I think I was being generous with the 3 because at first I was like, "Well, it wasn't," and I stand by this, it wasn't horrible, but the more we talk about it, I do feel a little less satisfied with it,
Mhm.
but I don't wanna change the rating.
Yeah,
And 3 is middle of the road, 3 out of 5. So, it's not the worst thing ever. Would I recommend it?
no.
No. Um, I guess it was a fair attempt for a first time for a debut book. Um, yeah.
Yeah, I don't have anything else to say. I think, like, yeah, it was yeah, for a debut, she's got plenty of room for improvement. I hope she, um, takes note of whatever. I looked at the rating of it is, like, 3.44.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I'm curious too as to how does, certain book clubs, especially, like well, I kinda get Oprah, but, like, Jenna Bush and Reese Witherspoon and Good Morning in America, like, what is your criteria? How does this get picked?
Yeah.
Yeah, because at first I thought this was Jenna Bush, and not to say that I pick Jenna Bush books, but there's been some books that I've read, and then they're like, "This is a Jenna Bush book," and I'm like, me and Jenna don't most of the books I've read that she's picked, I'm just like
Yeah.
but yeah,
So,
this
before we go, I thought it could be fun to read some 1 stars off Goodreads just for shits and
shits and
giggles.
giggles, yay!
So, the people who hated this hated it. Okay, so we'll do 1 and 2 star. 2 star. Anne Marie says, "So many 5-star reviews for this, but I just don't get it. It's all over the place and it feels like a really silly read." Okay. Yeah.
I
Um,
agree.
Mary Alice says, "1 star, pretty awful. That's all I'm saying."
Ooh, that was yeah.
Kristen, 1 star, says, I don't get the 5-star reviews. This is like a bad Lifetime movie.
And she's right.
Uh, Zaina DNF says she DNF'd at 22%. The thriller ain't thrilling.
Hmm.
um, Another
I mean, we
DNF at
said it didn't
20%.
start getting good until like 75%.
75%. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a lot. Um, Someone else DNF struggled to connect with the characters. None
No,
of them
I
felt fully
struggle with that.
developed or compelling enough to
Yeah.
anchor the narrative. And I agree with that fully. That's the thing. And again, we go back to the author wasn't bold enough and what she was trying to accomplish. If that's what she was trying to accomplish, it was not bold enough.
No. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that's just a little snippet. And I guess we're on the side of that.
Yeah. Yes, we are. No, I was about to go like, "Oh god, I can't connect with the character." I'm like, "Is this a white
Mm-mm.
reviewer who?"
They didn't
No?
even say anything like that.
Okay, because that.
So, um, no, I think, yeah, I didn't see, and again, I did not sort through everyone. I just got the top ones. So I don't know if there was any of that. I can't relate kind of BS, but to be honest, you know, she was very bland in that respect. She wasn't exceptionally black. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't like
Mhm.
black, you know what I'm trying to say. Like, she just
Right.
was regular. And even her sister said, hey, she's good at kind of like blending and like getting people to like her. So it's
Yeah.
not like the character was this, I don't know, just very different other than how she looked visually. So it's not like someone could say, I don't relate. It's not like she was doing things that regular people don't do. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. No one really could say that for this character, I don't think. If they do, it's really just racism, but there's no reason to say that. 3 stars. Wah, wah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll go ahead and share what we're reading next. If you are a part of the Patreon family, you already knew what we're reading. You've already been told. You could have gotten your books and signed up at your library or whatever, and you would have had your situation sorted. So you might want to join us over on Patreon because we let everyone know well in advance what we're reading for the whole quarter. So you can plan accordingly and get in line with the long lines with your Libby accounts or whatever you need to do. Um, or you can just hop on over and buy it if you don't want to do all that. So up next, we are reading Count My Lies by Sophia Stava. That is a first time read for me by this author. I don't know if she has other books.
This is first time for me too. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but so that's what we're reading. Actually, I want to look it up right quick so I can remember what let's see. So this one has a much higher amount of rating. So a lot of people have read it. Just kind of cool. Fans, okay, I'm kind of nervous. Perfect for fans of Lisa Jewell, Lucy
Uh,
Foley, and Laura Dave. The Laura Dave comment scares me.
yeah, I was good with the other two. I was like,
Yeah. So I guess we'll have to see. The cover art's interesting. It's got a woman with her fingers behind her back with crossed fingers.
Mm,
So I wonder what she's lying about.
right. Yeah.
So yeah, that's what's up for July. Hope you come back here and check that out. And I think we're going to call it. You think we're done?
Yes.
Okay, so if you want to know what we're talking about over on the after show available on Patreon, we will be talking about our experience at the Black Romance Book Festival and maybe other things as they come up. So if you're curious about that, you'll need to come on over to Patreon and sign up and you will gain access. So we want to thank you for listening to the entire episode. We really appreciate you for doing that. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And remember, keep your TBR high and your spoilers tagged. See you in the next one. Take care of yourselves. Did you enjoy today's episode? If so, please head over to Apple Podcast or Spotify and leave a positive 5-star review. It's a simple action that makes a big difference. You can also like this episode on your favorite podcast player or share it with your fellow bookworm friends on social media. Joining the Shelf Addiction Patreon family is another way to support us. For as little as $2 a month, you can help our team create even more amazing bookish content. If Patreon isn't your thing, consider becoming a supporter on the Spreaker app for just $5 a month and gain access to exclusive audio-only content. You can find me everywhere, including Instagram, X, and TikTok under the handle Shelf Addiction. Join our book club of the same name on the book club's website and app, where we discuss all things bookish and more in a safe space. The Shelf Addiction podcast is a part of the Nerdy Maven Network. Thanks for tuning in.